Hello, Aubrey. How's it going today? What have you got going on today?
Well, yesterday was my birthday, which was
Happy
fun.
birthday.
Thank you. And today we're going out with friends tonight to a Korean barbecue where they
Oh,
like bring you
fun.
all the food and you cook it yourself on the table. I can't wait.
Ooh, look at
It's a new
you,
place.
Aubrey. Look at you, Miss Busy.
Yes. Ooh, I like what you did there. This is what we're talking about today. We do this a lot where we'll say, "Look at you, Miss Birthday Girl. Look at you, Miss Super Busy."
That is so fun and so playful, right?
Yes,
And it
I
really
love it.
builds the connection and the closeness right away. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agree. And this came up very recently on an amazing episode. You and Michelle recorded 2207.
Ah.
And you said, you were talking about hydrangeas. And Michelle said, "Look at you, Miss Flower." And to say, to compliment you and say how impressed she was that you knew about these
Right.
flowers. Right. And I immediately was
Mm.
like, oh, we got to talk about that on Allers English.
Yeah, she also may have been a little surprised, right? Because
Hmm.
maybe it seems out of character, which I know nothing about flowers. The follow-up is that our hydrangeas died exactly
No.
when we planted them because we didn't know they needed shade and humid weather, which is the opposite of what they get in the summer in Denver. And so
Oh.
wrong move. Do not know anything about flowers. I need gardening advice.
You're like, "I am not Miss Flower. Don't look at me."
Yeah, right. It didn't work out in the end, Aubrey,
Oh,
but yeah,
shoot. Funny.
surprised, and she was, yeah, teasing me a little bit, right?
Mhm,
We
which is
loved it.
super fun. I
Yeah.
know, it's fun to have something playful like that where you can tease and be a little bit silly. We want you guys to be able to do that with friends. So be sure to check out that episode. It was called Make Your English Bloom with this flowery vocabulary. And be sure to
Yes.
hit follow so you're not missing any of our great episodes.
Guys, and go check out that other episode, like you said, Aubrey, right? It's 2207. We
Yep.
don't have the title, but it
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
I just read it. It's Make
yeah,
Your English Bloom with this
yes, that's it.
flowery vocabulary. Yep.
That's it. Good. Perfect. So go and check it out. So I guess today we're going to learn exactly how to do this, right, Aubrey? And you're
Exactly.
going to learn this from a very insider English way, right? This is natural English we use with our friends, the people we like, really, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Yes, and this is just
Yeah.
one of 4 chunks that we're teaching you today
Yes.
that are so native and natural and really build the connection like you said, Lindsay. These are with friends, these are with people we know well or colleagues, coworkers we know well.
Sure.
They're very fun ways to compliment, to point out something that's impressive or that we like about someone.
Yeah, it's really not for someone that you feel a large distance between you and them
Oh,
or
right.
someone that is like above you at work or it's not formal. Okay, it's casual, it's fun.
Exactly, and
Good.
if you use these with someone you don't know well or that's the situation, they might come across as sarcastic or insincere,
Oh, good
so
point.
you really do want to reserve these for people you know very well.
Good point. I love it. So let's go into the first one, Aubrey, that we used at the top of the show. What is it?
Yeah, so this we say, "Look at you," and then for men, we would usually say "Mister." For women, either Miss or Mrs., but I would say Miss. I would not love it if you were like, "Look at you, Mrs. Busy." It sort of
Busy.
emphasizes that I'm older, that I'm not a miss anymore, so I
That's
would just
also
say
hard to
Miss.
say that.
It
Mrs. Busy.
is.
No, no,
You're
no, no, no.
adding more syllables, totally.
No, I like Miss. It goes with more words, right?
Yes.
Look at you, Miss Punctual, right?
Mhm, you might say to if someone's always on time, maybe your coworker that you know well, "Look at you, Mister Always on Time."
Right. I also want to think I think it's important to say that we can say this without the second part of Mr. or Miss or anything. Right? We can say, "Hey, look at you.
Yes,
Wow.
right, if they've
Incredible. I
dressed up
didn't
a little
know."
bit or their work is impressive, you could just,
Or
"Yeah, oh,
anything.
look at you."
Right, or even with the flowers situation. Michelle could have said, "Huh,
Mm,
look at you gardening these days." Right?
exactly, right, or
Or
just, "Look at you," just to say she's impressed that you know about this flower.
yeah, or something like, "Ooh, look at you, gardening these days, are we?" Right? That could be another episode,
Mm,
"Are we?" That could be kind of fun, Aubrey, for
it
an
is fun
idea.
we do that when we're asked, like, "Gardening, are we?"
Yeah,
And you're
there
like,
you
"No, we're not. I am," but we just say that, "Are we?"
exactly, another episode, another day. So,
Love that.
okay, so important to know we can split them. What else do we need to know about this particular chunk?
Yeah, I love this. This is what the way I use it the most is if someone tells a joke,
Okay.
I'll say, like, "Look at you, Mr. Funny Guy," or "Look at you, Miss Funny Guy,"
Yeah.
or if, especially if it's like a cheesy dad joke. We say it's very
Ah,
playful to be like, "Look at you with the dad jokes."
look at you, Mr. Dad jokes or something like
Mhm,
that. Yes.
exactly, yeah,
Yes. Okay. So this is really teasing someone. Okay.
absolutely.
Good. But in a nice way and in a way that people aren't gonna laugh at the person. You're just highlighting,
No.
"I'm surprised that you're doing this," and I'm highlighting it. It's a
Yeah,
little out
it's
of
playful,
character
it's
or yeah.
fun, it's not
Mhm.
mean, it's not critical,
Right.
it's yeah, you can totally do this to be a little silly
Yeah.
or to let them know you really are impressed.
Love it. What would be the second one, Aubrey? Let's move on.
Yeah, okay, this next one is to say, like, "Check out," and then it could be like, "Check out this guy, check out this girl," or "Check out Lindsay," if they're impressed, like, maybe you made a great cheesecake. It'd be like,
Yeah.
"Check out Lindsay, Miss Cheesecake Maker," right? Or if it's like a guy friend, "Check out this guy, Mr. Cheesecake
Check
Specialist."
out this guy. I like that. There's a real intonation that we're using here. What is it,
Yes.
Aubrey?
Yeah, it's you're definitely slowing down a little bit, right? Check out the and then the pause, "This guy," or "Check out
Yeah.
Lindsay." So we pause before we say the name or the, pronoun.
Yes, or check out Janet, Mrs. Cheesecake Queen. So in this case, you're calling out the person's name. You may not be in direct conversation with that person, but they may be in the room and
That's
you know
true.
that you right?
Or
Mhm.
they might not even be, right? Let's say your friend made the
Right.
cheesecake for the party but couldn't come. You could still taste the cheesecake and be like, "Oh, man." Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting though, because the checkout does imply that they're there and you can see them, right? So it's like, "Wow, check out Janet with the cheesecake."
Kind of, but I think it could also be more figurative. You know,
Yeah, check
have
out
a look
Janet.
at this, look at this new development. She's making great cheesecake now. It's kind of
Yeah.
surprising, kind of exciting, kind of out of character a little
Yeah,
bit.
and you can even say it about the thing, right? "Check out this cheesecake. This is
Yes.
amazing," right? We're just saying we're impressed with it.
I like that too, actually. That's a good way to do it. Good. Okay. Okay, Aubrey, on to number 3. What do we do next? What's another way to kind of tease people
Yes. So
or
this
highlight what
we
they're doing?
say the either Mr. or Miss and then blank of the year. So like if someone throws a great party, you might say like, "Wow, Miss Host of the Year." Like, "Ooh, party of the year," right? And
Mhm.
all you're saying is you're impressed by it.
Yeah, one question here. Here's a question. Would this ever be used kinda sarcastically in a mean way? Not really, right? These are really just purely well-intentioned
Yeah, I can't
ways of
think of I'm
highlighting.
imagining, like, let's say someone gets in a car accident.
Oh my gosh,
Would you ever
no.
be like, "Wow, driver of the year"?
Never.
No,
No, of
it's
course
so
not.
mean. I
They
think we
might do
only
it
use these positively.
the only way I would think of is a self-deprecating context, right? If
Yes.
I plan this huge party and then it's just a total just
Yes,
it
right?
just
Well,
so many things go wrong.
Miss Party Host of the Year over here.
Party of the year. Yeah, it's something like that. I
Or
might
about
say
my
that
driving if I'm admitting I was in an accident and be like, "Yep, driver of the year."
yeah, you
Right? We
right.
might
You
say this
yeah.
about ourselves.
Like, when you walk in the room and everyone knows what
Mhm.
happened, "Are you okay?" And it's just something minor. "Yep,
Yeah.
driver of the year over
Yes,
here." Right?
totally. It's just a fun way to poke fun at ourselves for sure.
Right, but we wouldn't use this in a way of like, being mean or sarcastic, okay? So that's not what we're talking about today. Yeah.
Exactly. Though, segue into this next one because we do use this one this way. So it's either Mr. or Miss and then like can't something. So for example, if you tell a joke and someone doesn't think it's funny, you might say like, "Hey, Mr. can't take a joke."
Oh,
Right? Something like that. This we do
yes.
and it's
Yeah.
not really mean. It's sort of calling out an awkward situation to sort of
Yes.
diffuse it a little bit.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
"Okay, Mr. No sense of humor."
Right, especially when someone isn't going like, maybe they're being teased a little bit, but in a positive way, in a kind relatively kind way, and they can't take it. They take everything seriously, let's say,
Right.
right?
Yeah. The other
Oh,
way I feel like this is used is if someone is being impatient, you might say
mm,
like, "Okay, miss, can't wait 5 minutes," right?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
I can
yeah, yeah.
see me saying this to one of my kids. I
I
feel
was
like
gonna
we
say
do
that,
hear
yeah.
this, we say this, it's playful.
Right, yeah, that's how I could imagine it as well, for sure. Or the next one, "Alright, we can leave, Mr. Impatient." I love that one too, you said that. So, let's move on to the role play, Aubrey, shall we, for our listeners?
Yes, and I hadn't said that one. That I'm
Oh, you
imagining
didn't say
you're at
that.
a party. I
Okay.
had done that, so it's like, "Oh, miss can't wait 5 minutes," or, like, if you're at a party, this happens to me and my partner wants to leave, then I
Okay.
might say something like that, "Okay, we can go, Mr. Impatient," right? And
Yeah,
we use the Mr. or Miss, and then
right.
we'll add an adjective.
Again, just to emphasize, you need to be close to the person. So this could be your
For sure.
partner, your kids, someone you really can tease and kind of put them in their place a little bit. You're being impatient, and I'm going to say it in a way that's
Right.
kind of teasing, but I want to get a message across at the same time. Right?
Yes, and it's very familiar. So unless you have
Yes.
that very close relationship where you can tease and be familiar with someone, then you don't wanna use these.
I love it. This is going to be great for any of our listeners who might be in a cross-cultural relationship, right? By
Mhm.
two languages, that sort of thing. Guys, we can use this absolutely at home. I love it. So good.
Yes, for sure.
Okay,
Okay,
Aubrey.
let's do a role play. You and I are at a 4th of July barbecue. Those are coming up. I can't wait.
Love it. Here we go. Hey, look at you, Mrs. On Time.
I
Or
know,
Miss
right? Usually late. For once, I made it somewhere on time.
I'm impressed. And check out this guy. Nice American flag bandana.
Oh, you know my husband, Mr. Always looking for a reason to dress up.
Love it. Thanks for coming, both of you.
We wouldn't miss it. We all know that you are Miss Party Planner of the Year. So it's funny, I had Mrs. there. Did it feel weird to say Mrs. on time?
Yeah, I was surprised that you put Mrs. in there.
I think I just wasn't thinking about it when I did the role play, and then I
Right.
started hearing them out loud, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I prefer Miss for sure."
I
Which
love it.
is funny because people will call me ma'am or Mrs. Carter, and
Right.
it's fine. It's not a big deal. But with this chunk, I feel like we usually use Miss for any women, no matter how old they are.
Right, because a teasing, creating a rapport, I don't know, there's something about that that's Mrs. is a little more serious. It's more
It's
formal,
right. It
right?
removes some of that familiarity. I
Exactly.
agree.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And then I said, "I'm impressed. And check out this guy. Nice American flag bandana." And now I'm talking to him. Nice
Exactly, you're
American
talking
flag.
to so I'm standing next to my partner and you're like, "Check out this guy with the American flag bandana." So you're kind of teasing, maybe he's wearing something a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, you know him, Mister always looking for a reason to dress up." And we do this sometimes we have the Mister or the Miss and then a big long, like, title phrase that's describing the action or the characteristic.
I love it. I could see this kind of scenario playing out at a Halloween party as well, right? This kind of
Exactly,
thing.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mister always
Yeah.
wearing the best costume.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And then you said, we wouldn't miss it. We all know you're Mrs. Party Planner of the Year or
Yeah,
Miss
and that's where
Party
I
Planner of
said
the
miss.
Year.
I had written Mrs., but I said
Yeah.
miss when I read it because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, no,
No, no, get
misses.
rid of the misses, too much.
Too many
Um,
misses."
yeah, no, this is great. So clearly we're close. As a close group of friends getting together, casual 4th of July barbecue. There's nothing formal about this. I think 4th of July
Exactly.
might be the least formal holiday that exists.
Exactly, right? A 4th of July barbecue, very casual. There you can't make that formal. Good luck trying to make that occasion
No
formal.
way. Yeah.
No.
If you wanna wear, like, a sundress or something, no problem, but
Sure.
generally, they're very casual, and 4th of July is my favorite holiday without a doubt,
Yes,
Aubrey.
and it's always with close friends, so
Yeah,
this is a perfect kind of situation where these phrases, these chunks are perfect. You guys use them. I'm excited.
I
When
love
you're
it.
complimenting someone, just as a takeaway, it does help to lighten it up, right? If you're too formal and stiff when you're giving just like a little minor compliment, it can be a little awkward. These phrases remove all of that formality.
I love it. So anytime you want to further build a relationship or when you already have this close relationship, use these language mechanisms, guys, to build that connection even more. Okay. Love it.
Absolutely. Yes, so fun.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me, Lindsay. These are so fun.
Great stuff, guys. Hit that follow button on All Ears English if you love our show. We are now available 5 times a week publishing for you. And, take us into your Saturday, take us into your weekend, whatever you do, whether it's going to the beach, the gym. I mean, what do you like to do on Saturdays, Aubrey?
Yeah, I play pickleball and sometimes I play OTL softball. I like sports, organized sports, group
Wow.
sports on the weekend.
Wow. All right. So take us to your group sports too, as well, guys. All right. Good stuff, Aubrey. I'll talk to you very soon. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks,
Bye.
Lindsay. Bye.